7 men lost their lives on the roads of Florida in the United States. They didn't die in war, and not because of organized crime. They died in brief, chance encounters with one woman.
I hate those male... God.
At the beginning, a warning about this content. It may contain material not suitable for all ages. Any details or information mentioned are for clarification only and are not meant to justify the crime or excuse the motives of criminals. Aileen Wuornos. How did Aileen become a criminal? The story began with a childhood that offered no real chance of survival. A little girl whose childhood was shaped by an environment that breaks a person. Aileen was born in 1956 in Michigan. Her father was a violent criminal. She never saw him in her life, didn't know him at all, and his life ended in prison. Her mother abandoned her while she was still an infant, without explanation. Maybe she didn't want the responsibility. Aileen and her brother were placed with their grandparents. But the grandparents' house was not safe. The grandfather was harsh, and the grandmother was indifferent. An environment completely lacking warmth or affection. From a very young age, it was clear that Aileen was a troubled child. She had behavioral problems and showed aggressive tendencies. Early abuse made the psychological damage even deeper. At the age of 14, she became pregnant. The baby was taken from her immediately and put up for adoption, and she was kicked out of her grandparents' home. She became a homeless teenager, with no shelter, no support, and no care. By the late 1980s, Aileen was living on Florida's highways, relying on temporary relationships to cover her basic needs and expenses. Living that kind of life inevitably puts a person in danger, with no one there to protect them. And that's where the series of crimes began. The first murder happened in 1989. Aileen claimed she acted out of fear, but the court was clear. Her claim did not justify the loss of a human life. In fact, after the first crime, she didn't stop. She continued a series of murders that followed a clear pattern: meeting the victim, shooting, stealing their vehicle, disappearing. The victims were men of different ages. Some had no history of violence at all, no criminal records, and some simply disappeared and were never found. When the investigation started, evidence doesn't show mercy. Police linked the cases through stolen vehicles and indirect witness statements, people who had seen her and described her. But the major turning point in the investigation came when her romantic partner cooperated with the police. How do I explain what romantic partner means here? There are two interpretations. The first is that she was her close friend, very emotionally attached to her. The second is that she was her friend and they were in a relationship together. I hope the meaning is clear. What matters is that her romantic partner recorded a phone call in which Aileen calmly talked about her crimes, without emotion. In 1991, she was arrested and detained. After her arrest, her statements kept changing. Sometimes she defended herself, sometimes she got angry, sometimes she cursed, sometimes she calmed down. It was a full range of reactions. The prosecution considered these contradictions proof that she was aware of her actions and not out of control. The first case ended with a death sentence, and the remaining cases were closed based on her confessions. In total, she received multiple death sentences. In prison, her mental condition deteriorated even further compared to what it had been before. Later, she personally asked the court to carry out the execution. In 2002, the sentence was carried out and her life ended.
Nonetheless, you killed 7 men.
Yes, you did.
And I'm asking you, what got you to kill the 7 men?
And I'm telling you, because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it? I never hated men, but now I do. I mean, not all. I have a category. I hate those male... God. I hate those male cops. Real bad. The judges, the lawyers, they're all male.
Do you want to die? You want to...
Oh, man, if I was to leave this planet, it wouldn't be no big deal to me.
In the end, we all agree there is no justification for crime. But were her actions the result of long-term neglect, or was she a person who chose violence as a way of life? And could she have been stopped at a young age before she went down that path?